Hey, No Name Tim, back with another Behind the Beat, this time for Billymaree's Nobody, produced by myself and Maurico. This is a real fun one, so let's just get right into it.
My love is shit. Who's gonna love you like I do? And who's gonna fuck you like I do? Yeah, who's gonna touch you like I do? Won't place no one above you like I do.
So this particular joint started with an idea that Maurico had sent me, and Maurico's got a really dope ear for really cool samples and melodies and that sort of thing. So he had this sample and he took it and had added some effects to it, added a really dope synth bass line to it, and I'll play you what he had sent me. So love that. He'd also included some other drums in there with it, like a kick, a snare, and a hat. And I tried to build off of those, but it just wasn't giving me the vibe that I was looking for. But the way he done that sample was just so perfect. So what I did was I looped that that sample and just had this playing for a minute. From there, the first thing I did was I pitched it down 2 semitones, and that really gave me the feeling I was looking for when it came to what was going on in my head. And that sounds like this. And then I took another part of the sample that he had sent, and that synth bass he had sent as well, and it sounds like this. So really dope, real airy, filtered out, and just really pulled the emotion out of the record. So with the way things were looped up there, and the way things were rolling in my head, I started to hear this really cool drum progression, and it reminded me of some drums I had done on a record probably like 5 or 6 years ago. So I actually went into that old session and got all the individual drum sounds out of it, and then brought them into this session here. I ended up swapping some sounds out. I believe there's some new hi-hat sounds in there, and the 808 is new in this one as well. And then I just did the new patterns and everything. But it was kind of cool taking sounds from something old and making them new, kind of like how we did with the sample here that Maurico sent over, taking something old and making it new again. As far as the drums themselves go, got this kick, got a snare, got a second snare, which is actually the same snare as the first snare. I've just shortened the decay in the sustain and EQ'd out some of the lower frequencies to make it a little sharper. And it's acting as a percussive tap snare in between that main snare. We've got the main hi-hat. Got this second hi-hat that comes in the back half of things. There's 4 open hats. Well, actually, there's 3 because one of them is just the same hat pitched. So, but there's 4 total and 4 total patterns. So we have this one. We got this one, which is that same one, just pitched and then panned to the left while that first one's panned to the right. We have this one. And then this other one is from the original set of sounds that Maurico had sent me in his original idea. And then as far as other drum sounds in the record, I also kept this really dope snap that he had in there that you heard at the beginning of the video. As far as the drum patterns themselves, first thing I laid down was the hi-hat. Next were all the open hats, and I'll just add them all together at once, since they're kind of playing off each other and one sliding into the next. From there, I laid down the snares. And then next it was the kick. And with the kick, there's a lot of little velocity changes just to add to the overall bounce of the record. Once I had all that going, I wanted to add a little variation in the back half of what I had labeled the verses, and that's when I brought in that second hi-hat to play alongside that first one, and that sounds like this. So at that point, we have the main basis of the record, but I didn't want to just continuously loop that sample and that synth bass from Maurico throughout the whole thing. I wanted to add another little section, so that's where me chopping up the sample a little bit more and the 808 came into play. So I took that sample Maurico had sent and chopped it up a little bit and moved some things around. And added a delay to it, and this is what I came up with. So when I play with the drums, it sounds like this. From there, I loaded in this 808. It's an 808 I really like. It's got some bottom end, but it isn't too boomy, and a little bit of distortion, but not too much. So it's real versatile, fits in a lot of records. But I loaded it in and then played this pattern. So with the chopped up sample, the 808 brought in, and bringing back in some of the drums, we have that other section of the record. From there, I took that snap that Maurico had said in his original idea and used it to kind of build up into when all the drums came in, and did some arranging, and then we have the full track that sounds like this. Who can love you like me? Nobody. After everything was arranged out, mixed everything down, then sent the final version over to Maurico, and he shot it over to Billy, and she wrote a super dope record to it. So yeah, that's how we made Nobody by Billymaree, out now on all platforms wherever you get your music. So go check that out, and I'll see you guys next time.
The one another body on the telly. Rather be laid up smoking on Cali. Now I'm feeling comfortable sitting here up in a room. Take them fucking drawers off now, cause I got things to do to you. Now you're trying to talk to me like you've been on some other shit, but now I got you out here wrapped up in my love and shit. Who's gonna love you like I do? And who's gonna fuck you like I do? Yeah, who's gonna touch you like I do? One place, no one above you like I do. No, 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 no.